Hey you all, I'm Tamara and I want to try something different. I feel like having these types of conversations, especially as young adults, could really help us navigate through whether you're a teen, just becoming a young adult, just like myself. I just recently turned 21 back in October. I never really had too many people to have serious conversations to, even when it came to, how to do taxes, relationships, how to even navigate life. But I feel like especially when it comes to conversations about growing up, they're a bit more hidden away than things we even learn in university. So, guess what this series is gonna be about? Real life talks with me, Tamara. I almost treat it like a FaceTime call. I feel like I love these styles of videos because they're a lot less pressure on me to talk more fluidly rather than from a script, and they give me some time to also connect to you as a viewer, as a community member. So let's get on with it. I do want to be talking about my relationships and just essentially how I stopped feeling dependent when it comes to a relationship. I have been in quite a few relationships, 3 serious ones, including my current one right now. So I just really want to talk about exactly what I learned, not necessarily the experiences that happened in them, because I feel like those are a bit more private and I would hate to talk about them without that other person's consent. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and also leave a comment if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about within this series, because this is a series that I would love to continue. I also do Instagram and TikTok, hopefully if TikTok doesn't get banned, so make sure to go follow and support those channels as well, as those are going to be more short form and photo content. I do definitely want to start off by talking about how I was as a person before getting into a serious relationship. I definitely do want to say is that the way I was raised, I feel like I was raised more independently than dependently from my parents. And all love to my parents. I actually do appreciate the way they did raise me, because it's kind of forced me into some situations that I really had to think hard on in terms of how to navigate through them, how to actually process my emotions, to be like, okay, this is what's going on right now. Let's look at all of the options and then pick the best one, rather than just rushing to one of the options, making hesitant, quick calls that are probably going to affect us negatively in the future. I feel like with that mindset, it also made me depend on myself a lot more. It's not that I didn't have anyone to fall back on, but I feel like emotionally, I depended on myself a lot more, and I also sought out other lifestyle content creators to just imagine and envision life that I wanted to build for myself. Fast forward to my first year of university, think literally move-in. My mom and her boyfriend helped me move in because back then I didn't have a car. I was really scared because it was my first time actually being away from family. So, when I moved in, I was like, I really need to step out of my comfort zone. I didn't really grow up with the most amount of friends. I was the type of person where I had some friends, but I had the same friends from middle school and elementary school. And if I had some friends in high school, it was at most 5. It's not that I was unhappy with that, but that was just the type of person I was. And it's the type of person I am today, where I value more long-lasting relationships, bonds, such and such, whether it's with family, friends, or whoever, rather than just quick get up and go. I do not mess with those anymore. But yeah, I started going to not the parties, the one hosted by the university, little get-togethers they had. Also with universities, I noticed they have a lot of events where you can win I and school merch from, so I definitely take advantage of those. I actually met my first relationship. It was my birthday. Yes, I turned 18. We were supposed to go on this huge, I think it was either apple picking or pumpkin picking in a haunted maze, but I guess quite a few people didn't have fun, so a lot of people just kind of rushed it, which I thought was very rude, by the way, because why would you rush someone else's event when you tagged along? It just kind of hurt a little bit. But the one person that actually did have even remotely fun was the one guy. So we started talking, and then he was like, you know what? I want to get into, I just want to change my clothing. I want to change my fashion. So I was like, okay, cool. So we went ahead, made some plans to go thrift shopping. I think it was the weekend after. Started dating maybe like a week and a half after that. So maybe like 3 weeks talking to each other. And then we probably dated for like 7 months. Took a break for about 5 months. Yeah, I think we dated for 7 months, took a break for about 5 months, and then got back together for another year and a couple months, and then just called it quits then. But there were actually quite a few things I learned in that relationship, and the number one thing is to not be dependent on a partner. And I probably did it at like the worst time possible. And notice how I'm using I, because he really didn't have a play in it. It was just more so how I perceived the relationship. When it came to my goals, I didn't really know what to do in college. Like, I originally went for radiation therapy. When I realized radiation therapy wasn't really my strong suit, I just went ahead and did marketing. Keep in mind, this was before I actually did content creation or anything. It was just something that I envisioned in my mind. Like, I want to do marketing and I'm going to do something with this major. I was essentially just there to exist in my mind and there to try to make him and I work out as much as possible. When I realized what was going on, I was like changing myself for the betterment of him and the relationship rather than changing myself to actually view college as a self-growth journey. And that right there actually really messed me up in terms of my grades, my time here, and just overall my college experience. And again, he had no play in that whatsoever. It's just more so something that I realized I messed up, and now it's kind of costing me big time, because it's like now I'm kind of in this state of catch up. And I know I'm only 21. I still have a whole life ahead of me, but it's still just something I can't get over. Feeling dependent on somebody can also make you feel like they don't meet your expectations. It hurts a lot more, because in your mind it's like, you'd do it for that person, why can't that person do it for you? But then you also got to realize that your way of thinking is not everybody else's way of thinking. A known habit that I see, especially when it comes to teenagers and young adults. Now, I'm not saying you can't build a life with a partner. You can be successful with and without a partner. I'm just going to say you can be successful with or without. But what I am saying is that when you do get into a relationship, regardless of who it is, please do not mess up and just take your goals that you had prior to the relationship out of your head, out of your thoughts, only for the betterment of that other person. So lo and behold, actually a couple weeks ago, he asked me out. Being in a relationship that is healing you, but rather than like mentally putting you down, is very different for me. And probably because he already knows me pretty well. It's not like I just met him a couple weeks ago and now we're already about to live together type deal. We've known each other for super long, but now we're kind of just taking that step up. It's very different for me. It's something that I've always said to him. I have a lot of goals. For example, I'm a streamer. I want to be a lot more into the streaming community. Actually, little promo if you want to follow it right here. I make a lot of great content. But anyway, I want to become a streamer. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm a senior in university, bouncing 5 courses, currently trying to save up a lot of things, and just knowing that he's understanding of that makes my heart just completely melt. Being with someone who is happy that I'm like putting me first in a way. Now, obviously, I will always love and care in a relationship, but putting yourself first, making sure that you're on track to completing your goals, you have something in mind, is really attractive. And not just to your partner, but to yourself. I just want to say this right now. If you're with someone who does not want to see you happy and does not want to see you complete your goals, succeed and everything, you're with the wrong person. And that's me being blunt. You're with the wrong person. As a young woman like myself, I can't be seeking dependency in my partner. Knowing how it messed me up in the past, using that to reflect on my standards, and I needed to put my foot down as early as possible. I am a busy person. I'm up at 6. If I'm not at the gym, I'm at work. If I'm at work, I'm probably doing homework. I need someone who's also supportive of my goals. I don't need where every time I have an idea, they're bashing it. It's just really mentally refreshing. And one thing I would like to say, I feel like I say that a lot, but just saying, when you're with someone who is supportive of you and supportive of your goals, it makes you feel a lot better in achieving those goals. It makes you feel a lot more motivated. So you might be thinking, Tamara, you're talking so much about your past relationships, but what exactly made you stop being dependent? Now, the thing that helped me stop being dependent is figuring out what happened in those relationships to make me the way that I was, or what happened within those relationships to make it end. The lack of self-motivation, the lack of self-love, the lack of energy that I was pouring into everything else but myself really set me back. And that right there formed the dependency for me. After my last previous relationship, I sat down with myself, and actually this took a couple days, that I just reflected. I didn't really talk to anybody about it. I just sat down, reflected, and went, what can I do to make myself be the best version of myself? I understand I'm 21. I understand that change isn't gonna happen overnight. I understand that these types of things take time. Envisioning what I wanted my life to, be in a year, be in 5 years, be in 10 years. That's why I actually made the self-growth journey. Actually, if you want to check it out, it's going to be in the link below. Making those types of videos kind of put a standard on myself, and it also made me realize I needed to change my standards, and not just for relationships, but for myself. I was letting myself go way too much, again, for the betterment of other people. It completely made me lose sight in what I wanted to do. But that is all I have for this video. If you have any other questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. Make sure to also like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as I am trying to hit YouTube partner this year. And then also make sure to check out my other videos. I make a lot more lifestyle content, and I will definitely be amping up this 2025. Make sure to follow the Instagram, especially before the TikTok ban. Bye, you all.